Hi, hello, yet again. Cathar Love, 86. Gnosis. What is it? And where can I get some? Or where can I get it? Gnosis. Well, of course we have Gnosticism, terms Gnosticism, Gnosis. Catharism, Cathars. Gnosticism is a person who seeks, aspires to, and hopefully attains his own or her own connection with the divine. Gnosis is knowledge, where you know. Outside the sun is shining, I know it's daytime. The night is black, I know it's nighttime. One doesn't have to believe, one knows. With the various theologies, the people who follow this religion or that, for that particular theology, so many believe with their heart, mind and soul that this is the truth. Those who follow the Judaic books, holy books, the Quran, Muslims, the Bible, Christians, some, every word is the word of God, others not so. Buddhism has its holy books. And each of these faiths, their adherents, to varying degrees, believe, and some believe with their heart, mind, body and soul. And which is fair enough. But the thing is, of course, they can't all be right. I'm not suggesting they're all wrong. But it's a physical impossibility that all these beliefs can be 100% correct. So, now, Gnosticism, but I am more involved with Catharism. We have a few fundamental beliefs that, apart from our mind, body and soul, we have a divine spark, which is our true individuality. It's our innermost core. And it is this that ultimately it seeks reunion now, and ultimately will have reunion, will be reunited with the source, which is our God, our belief. But it's an unknown God, it's not a personal God. Only the source knows itself. But as against the other theologies, it doesn't matter which one, with Gnosticism, but specifically Catharism, there is no heaven, there is no hell, and there's no devil, and there's no demons to scare you or control you through fear. There's a happy ending for everybody, every divine spark, both animate and inanimate. Ultimately, we believe, will be reunited with the source. Now, this is what we believe. Will this actually happen? I hope so. We certainly believe so. So, these are beliefs. Mine, yours, his, hers. But Gnosis is a different kettle of fish. Gnosis is knowing. I mentioned it once before, but Carl Jung, the father of psychology, who was a Gnostic, although he didn't admit that until later in his life, because he didn't think it would go down too well with his profession. And he was asked, and actually this is on YouTube somewhere, and he said, asked by this journalist, the interviewer, do you believe in God? And he said, he replied, that's a difficult question. But he said, he gave a Gnostic answer. He said, I don't believe, I know. So here's this differentiation between belief and knowing. So gnosis is knowledge, knowing. They say if anyone thinks they've attained gnosis, they most likely haven't. And if anyone, there's quite possibly people who have obtained gnosis to varying degrees and probably have. From my particular point of view, have I? And I certainly haven't. But I have obtained levels of it. For instance, just as I know night and day, I know I have a guide, because too many things have happened. We spoke for 10 years on and off. She's organised money for me on various occasions, and there's just been too many proofs. Quite apart from that, I was talking once with my daughter, as I've mentioned before, and I thought she was a little old lady, and she said no, she's 40, she looks like Janet Leigh, the movie star. She's got long blonde hair, goes down right past her waist, she wears dark blue and dark green gowns. And I said, well, how do you know? Because we've never discussed guides or anything like that before. And she said, I can see her standing beside you. Well, and then I had a medium, Susie, who I saw on about 6 occasions, and on each occasion, apart from my mother and father, my guide, Breda de Monsiva, was always there, and she described her the same way. She was about 40, she was beautiful. Both said she had very deep piercing eyes and long hair, and both said she wore dark blue and dark green gowns. I myself have not had the pleasure as yet. My friend James, who had his guide Henri de Nabour's, this is the Cathar dialogues and the codex from his dialogues with his guide, and he saw his guide Henri de Nabour's on 3 occasions. And he's a big guy, like a French. He described him as a rugby forward, a French rugby forward. But getting back to gnosis. So, yes, to the level that I have a guide, and who's been good to me in many, many ways. That I know. So I have that level of gnosis. I don't have to believe, I simply know, because it's just happened. There's my hand, there's my guide. It's as simple as that. They're there, I know, I don't have to believe. Gnosticism. There's many, what would you say, many points of view, definitions put forward with Gnosticism. But certainly the one thing that goes right through, whether it's Sufi, which is the Gnostic aspect of Islam, or any other aspect of Christian, the Christian aspects of Gnosticism, or whatever. Gnosticism is simply I, seeking to gain that our connection with the divine. And in my case, so all of it, I shouldn't say all, it's fantastic for me, but I've got to the point where I do have my connection and with my guide, and she lets me know when she's around, and it's very physical. She rubs me on the chin, and I'm sleeping sometimes, and oh, hello Breda, yeah, nice to know you're there, and so forth. And the simple fact is, it doesn't matter how deep our belief is, how serious our belief is, and it might be a belief that we will die for, but it doesn't necessarily make it true. I'm going to illustrate this by this story. I like my little stories, if it can illustrate a point. This guy, he was running late. He was running late for an appointment, and he was driving a car quite fast, and suddenly one of the wheels spun off, and he came to a halt, a crashing halt, and he got out and he thought, well, what am I going to do? So he could see the wheels down the road, so he went and he pushed the wheel back, and there he had a car with 3 wheels on. He had a jack, but unfortunately there was no nuts to screw the wheel back on. Anyway, as it turned out, he was next to a mental asylum, and there was a few inmates there, and they were just walking around in beautiful gardens, and one came over, he was in uniform, and he said, oh, I saw what happened. And the guy said, the inmate said, what are you going to do? He said, well, I don't know what to do. He said, I've got no nuts. He said, I've got the wheel. And the inmate said, well, look, why don't you jack up the car and I'll tell you what to do. And he said, you'll be able to get on your way and do what you have to do, and you can get the wheel fixed up later. So the guy got the jack out, he jacked up the car, and so the inmate went around and he took the hubcap off each of the other 3 wheels, and what he did was he unscrewed 1 nut from each of the wheels, so that gave the guy 3 nuts to screw the wheel back on again, and which would allow him to get where he had to go and sort out the rest later. And the guy said, well, he said, that's remarkable, I wouldn't have thought of that. He said, that's brilliant. And he said, yeah, you're an inmate here. And he said, yeah, he said, I'm a mental patient. He said, they've got me in here. And well, the guy said, you seem pretty smart to me. He said, that's brilliant, just what you did. And he said, well, why are you there? And the inmate said, well, he said, I just have some beliefs. And he said, not only are they my beliefs, but I can prove them. Oh. So the guy said, well, look, I'm in no hurry now, I've missed my appointment. Can you prove any beliefs now? And the guy said, yes, I can. So he pulled out a small tin, he unscrewed the tin, and in there there's 4 fat beetles. So the inmate, he took out 1 beetle, he put the beetle down on the ground, and the guy's looking at it, he said, oh yeah, okay. So then the inmate says, now watch closely. And the inmate said to the beetle, quick, march! And the beetle started marching. Ta, 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 ta. Halt! The beetle came to an abrupt halt. The inmate said, about turn! And the beetle did a complete about turn. He said, quick march! And the beetle started walking, 1, 2, 3, 4. And he said, halt! And the guy said, that's one of the most remarkable demonstrations I've ever seen in my life. He said, that's amazing! And the guy said, yes. He said, yes. He said, but he said, I can prove that beetles heave through their legs. And the guy said, well, how are you going to do that? He said, I just saw you talk to them and give them orders and they marched off. He said, that was remarkable. He said, I've never seen that before. But the guy said, well, beetles heave through their legs and I'll show you. And he took up the beetle and he pulled all its legs off and he put the beetle down on the ground. He said to the beetle, quick, march! The beetle didn't move, which proved to the inmate that beetles definitely heave through their legs. Okay. So the point is, it doesn't matter how much we believe, how deeply believe. Hopefully your beliefs are reality and actuality, but belief, the degree, the depth of our belief doesn't make it so, even if we're prepared to die for our beliefs. Now, so whether you're a Christian, you're a Buddhist, you're a Jew, or whatever you are, we have to respect people and we have to respect their beliefs. Of course, this is, apart from anything else, just good manners, and so we can get on with each other. But the one that what I like about Gnosticism, or specifically Catharism, is that you can be a Cathar, and apart from our deep basic about the source and our reunion with the source, and there's no heaven or hell, and there's no day of judgment, and there's no judging, apart from these basic beliefs, your Catharism can be different to my Catharism. It doesn't matter. You can get together, you can do it singly, you can have your Catharism in a group, you can be at various levels, you can think diametrically opposite to me. It doesn't matter. In fact, it's good, because the thing that we do, that Gnosticism and specifically Catharism wants people to do, is think for themselves and don't be trapped by beliefs. Because as we grow in life experience, as we grow in knowledge, surely, if we're intelligent, our beliefs will change accordingly, according to our life experience and to the knowledge which we've acquired through our lifetime. And this is what Catharism is about. And as you, so this to me is the beauty of Catharism as compared to the other beliefs. But as far as gnosis and knowing, gnosis is knowing, and so it's taking your experience. In my case, I can say with my guide, to the point where it's beyond belief. You don't have to believe. It's simply, that's just the way it is, and it's there, and my guide is there, and there's just no argument. It's just like night and day. My hand, left hand or right hand, my guide is there. You know. So this is the difference between belief, Gnosticism, and gnosis. It's knowledge. And as I've said before, to the Gnostic, to the Cathar, the only sin, if there is a sin, is the sin of ignorance. And so my job is to just put these ideas or this knowledge to people, and from it they'll take whatever they want or need, if any at all. So, bye for now, and we'll speak again.